Here with more ESPN host, our good old friend Stephen A. Smith. What do you mean you have no choice? You have a choice. You don't have to get involved in politics. You can be a commentator. You can get into the political arena. You can give your opinions. You can try to impact policy. You don't have to run for president to do that. So you have a choice. Why do you say you have no choice?
I didn't make an announcement. Because I didn't make an announcement that I'm running. I made an announcement that
I have no choice but to do this.
Excuse me, don't answer a question and interrupt me before I even get a chance to answer your question. To answer your question. To answer your question directly, yeah, sure, I got a choice. But at the end of the day, here's what it comes down to, Sean. You're absolutely right. I am a pundit. I am a commentator. I am a journalist by trade and what have you. These are the things that I care about, and I care about having a voice, and I care about making an impact and making a difference, especially when it comes to what's in the best interest of the United States of America. There's no question about that. The other side to it, however, is that I've had folks coming up to me, like I said, elected officials and others, including my own pastor, A.R. Bernard from the Christian Cultural Center here in Brooklyn, New York, who looked at me and said, hey, show respect to people who believe in you and respect you and believe that you could do good for this country by at least leaving the door open. You never know what God has planned for you. That's years down the road.
I've been told the same thing.
Stop saying no, no, no. And that's all I said. That's all.
So I watched this poll come out, and I did give you some of my thoughts on it. I have more to share with you.
Yeah.
I don't believe that poll. That's my gut instinct. I think there's probably, I would say, you know, the first poll that came out had you at 7%. Maybe you're at 5, 6, 7%. Do I think that the party that is now led by AOC and Bernie Sanders and Jasmine Crockett and the radical left would ever accept you or want your input or go along with your... That's my point.
I don't believe that people would have a conversation with me and get my perspective on things? Sure. Do I believe they would ever really, really support me, meaning those that have been entrenched within the Democratic Party now and for the last several years? Absolutely, positively not. I saw the poll. Listen, I'm not an expert in this, but I've been following politics for a very, very long time. We understand what comes with the process, particularly if you're a Democratic nominee. The superdelegates got to approve for you. You got to get a whole bunch of support from all over the place for you to even be the nominee. And you know people are going to stand in your way. Look at what happened. I mean, you can look at Andrew Cuomo. You can look at Al Franken. You can look at a lot of different things. And at least on the left, what they say is that they eat their own, especially when they don't like you. So they don't know me. The chances are they don't like me. You got people that's craving to go on. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
In the third term of Andrew Cuomo, who took out Andrew Cuomo? Do you think it was the Republicans in New York? Or do you think it was the Democrats? Because maybe he was a threat to them because they thought he had political aspirations.
Well, they thought that he was in line to fight for the presidency, fight for the Democratic nomination. And at least on the left, that's even those folks speculate about it. But in the end, here's what it comes down to. Poll comes out about 2 months ago or so. I'm at around 7.5% or whatever. Ever since then, I've been in the news ad nauseum every single damn day, and suddenly I'm at 1%. I don't believe that for 1 second. That's not how this works. No, but what I'm saying to you is this: at the end,
gasoline on the fire.
Listen,
come on.
Listen, I'm not putting gasoline on anything. I'm just not running. And what I mean by that is that I have a voice. I care about the issues. I'm going to attack them. I'm going to address the issues that need to be addressed, no matter how I feel on other side of the aisle. I'm an independent. I'm going to say what I feel. I'm going to speak my mind, and I'm not going to run from anybody. So it doesn't even matter running from office. I'm not going to run from them.
You're not talking about being an independent.
Well, listen,
you're talking about trying to change your party. Your party's a Democratic party, and you're trying to, have it both ways. You want to either you're an independent or you're a Democrat.
Well, that's what y'all say. That's what people like you say. That's what your politicians say. There's a whole bunch of American citizens out there that don't want anything to do with the fringes. That whether you're center left or center right, they want common sense, man. They want to listen to people that have common sense.
Do you align?
I'm telling you who I am.
With the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, or are you more independent?
I'm more independent. But the reality is, what's the chances of an independent winning a general election? Slim to none.
I could see the Democrats.
You know this better than me.
You talked about billionaires and prominent Democrats, and you've been kind enough to share privately with me, and I would never reveal my sources. the number of people that have reached out to you and who these people are. I think that's pretty enticing. I think some of them probably are there trying to get intel for other candidates that they're really supporting and not for you. They're not really there for you. I think some may sincerely be there. But at the end of the day, do you want to be part of a party that led to the greatest national security threat in our history with wide open borders and 12 million unvetted illegals, including known terrorists, murderers, rapists, cartel members, gang members? Do you want to be part of a party that systemically lied about Joe Biden's cognitive health, that lied about the economy? Do you want to be part of a party?
Here we go.
Do you want to be part of a party that cares more about the rights of men to play women's sports, the rights of illegals over the safety of Americans? I have Rachel Morin's mother on this program tonight. Do you want to be part of a party that thinks it's a constitutional crisis if, in fact, you eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse? Is that what you believe? Because I don't think you do.
No, I do not. OK, and I spoke adamantly against some of those things that you articulated on my own show and on this show, along with various other shows. But let me tell you what I do want to be a part of. I want to be a part of a party and a part of an American society that looks at those actions that you just chronicled and says that has no business in the United States of America. We can do better. Let's exercise common sense and decency. Let's understand that even when we look at the right, every damn thing ain't wrong about what Trump do. You might have a problem with how he's going about with the tariffs, but his position about the tariffs isn't totally wrong. Guess what? The border is better since he's been in office because we no longer have open borders, but we could still look at him and say, you know what, with Obrego, the bottom line is this, immigration, a judge ruled for protection for the kid, and the Supreme Court voted 9-0 in order for him to be here. Go back and get him from El Salvador. We can agree on some things, we can disagree on some things, but in the end, it's about a core decency that we are devoid of right now in our politics. I hope somebody from the Democratic Party steps up. I hope I light a fire under them and get a more qualified individual in this mix so people can stop asking me this stuff and I can enjoy my life. But if it continues to get worse, all hands on deck. All of us should consider running for crying out loud rather than dealing with this nonsense.
I get it. All right, let me ask you this. Do you believe in the environmental policies, climate alarmism, Green New Deal policies? Do you agree with the DEI agenda of the Democratic Party? Do you support woke in America, transgenderism? Do you think one tax dollar should ever go to...
It's not as finite as you try to make it.
One tax dollar ever go into any of those programs, especially abroad? Why are we giving a penny to Harvard University when they have a $50 billion endowment? Help me with that.
I don't know the answer to that question. But what if I find out that there's a pretty decent answer for that question? I don't know the answer to that question. When you bring up Harvard, you would think with an endowment like that they wouldn't do it. But why has this federal government spent years giving it? Maybe it's because they make a contribution to the American fabric that you're not articulating on this particular show. We don't know the answer to that question. And just like you ask questions about the left, I can ask questions about the right too. Let's just be fair about it. We don't have to agree on everything.
Why are we paying for an Ivy League elitist institution when maybe we could be shoring up community colleges, trade schools, so we can be helping the children of the hardworking men and women that don't have an opportunity to ever think about an elite private school like that? I'll give you the last word.
Okay, that's a fair question, and let's hope Trump, the president of the United States, has a big time answer for that. I get that part. I understand what you're saying. As a common American citizen, you look at your frustration. Excuse me, he's cutting them off. But why? But why? The intent matters. How you go about doing things matter. All of those things come into consideration.
These
I understand
Ivy we can't be paying these Ivy school brats tuition. If they want to go to an Ivy League school, get the money yourself, get it from mommy or daddy, or go to work, save up, and then go pay for it yourself. How's that?
And when did you come to this conclusion? When did you start saying this? Were you saying this before when Obama was in office? Because I'd love for you to interview him and ask him that question. I'm asking. I'm not accusing you of not saying it. I'm asking.
What question?
Ask Obama. Ask a Harvard student. Ask Barack Obama that question. He spoke adamantly of this.
I didn't get it. I took out a student loan. I paid back every single penny of it. I paid for all my college myself. Checkmate.
So did I.
Boom.
You ain't the only one that did
There
that.
you go.
You're not the only one that did that. I did that as well. But
Here's
what
the
if that particular
revelation you
student
don't
from
want to admit
Harvard
is coming.
has an ability to make a major contribution to our society? We got to entertain that. Scholarships are given out all the time by everybody.
As you evolve politically, you are going to find you are more in agreement with things that I believe in and the values that I believe in than the values of this party that you feel compelled and have no other choice to align yourself with, because you do have a choice.
Let me tell you something.
And
I'm about free market capitalism. I'm about national security. I'm about controlling our borders. I'm about all of those things. But here's the problem. The minute Sean Hannity says you're going to find yourself agreeing with me, that's when you lose me. That's the last thing I want to do. So keep that in mind the next time you say that, okay?
Boom.
When you bring you up, you do.
Personal.
Why would I want to agree with you?
I'm not going to be a part of Sean Hannity. And I defend you. Everyone that interviews me, they want to know why are you friends with Stephen A. Smith, and I go to bat for you, and I spend hours defending you.
Do you have any idea what I experience in the black community because I'm friends with you? Don't even get me started.
Okay,
you got to be crazy sitting up here with your pity party with that nonsense. Stop it.
Sean Hannity's been fighting for law and order. Sean Hannity's been fighting for secure borders. Sean Hannity, has been fighting for law, order, safety, security.
Sean Hannity does not compromise. John Hannity listens to his one side and not the other side. That's the problem with Sean Hannity.
Especially in blue states and cities that have been decimated by liberal Democrats for decades. But we could go on all night, but I'm
in no position to argue right now. I can't. I know. So do I.
That's it.
I got to go too.
All right, appreciate it. Busy. Stephen A., we still like you. Love is a hard word to get out right now. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.